Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Mekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Today's lesson is going to go into, let me see. This video that the apostle Gabar had did, entitled Sarnetta voices his disapproval of Sakari's 2021 Passover. And as Sarnetta, I guess he has a live stream, and somebody had called in. Was it that video? I guess somebody had called in, and Sarnetta was breaking it down of how that was wrong and how Great Millstone, and he also said ISUPK would, we would be the ones to get on Sarnetta. Get on Sakari, and this guy, of course, attempting to stain brothers over here in Great Millstone. He says, but those guys rape though. They rape little girls. And that's something that everybody goes to when they either want to defame us or really when they want to defame us. All right, which the scriptures say, he that is without understanding striketh hands. All right, so when you losing, which most people, they cannot come up against us because we speak the truth. As this guy, Kevin Samuels, he argues people. He doesn't get into emotions. He doesn't go back and forth. All right. He attacks point by point of what you say. And that's what, therefore, you end up being destroyed by the argument. And that's what we do. All right. We don't get emotional. We just stay according to the scriptures. And according to the scriptures, as we always go into, this is in Deuteronomy 22 and 28. It speaks about if a man, which in the scriptures, and even today when you look at it, all right, a man and a woman in a relationship, the man is normally older than a woman. All right, my parents, I know, me personally, my parents are 13 years apart. I know a few people who's, back in the day, my old Eva, whatever, her grandmother, I think she had her, she got married when she was like 14, over there in DR. But it says, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, okay, that word virgin meaning bafwala, an untouched, a woman that was untouched, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, that the man that lie with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. Now it's coincidentally a virgin, an untouched, woman would also be a lot of times, even in the scriptures, a younger woman. Okay, and it says, because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father. Okay, no, that was it though. And that word alone, we go into it. It's a Strong's definition, which I want to also read the definition from the Compact Bible Dictionary. All right, so it says passive participle of an unused root, meaning to separate a virgin from her privacy, sometimes by continuation, a bribe, also figuratively a city or state maid or virgin. So when we go into these Strong's definitions, they break down every time, every separate time that this word virgin, in that sense, in the sense of bafala, was used in the scriptures. It was either used as a literal, as a virgin, a young woman, all right, a city or state going into virgin daughter of Babylon, a maid or virgin. Okay, so now I want to go into Genesis 24 and 43. And a little backdrop on this story is Abraham, he sent his servant, to get, because that's what we did too, arranged marriages. He sent his servant to find his son's wife. And his son's wife, well, let me see. This is Genesis 24 and 38. But thou shalt go unto my father's house and into my kindred and take a wife unto my son. It's like I started 37. And my master made me swear, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell. But thou shalt go unto my father's house and into my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. And I said unto my master, Peradventure the woman will not follow me. He said, like, what if, I go and look for her, but she won't come back with me? And he said unto me, The Lord before whom I walk will send his angel with thee and prosper thy way. And thou shalt take a wife for my son of my kindred, of my brethren, all right, of his kind, of his nation, all right, going to show you that racism is in the scriptures, all right, or nationalism, all right, because it's all about nations, of my kindred and of my father's house. Then shalt thou be clear from this my oath, when thou comest to my kindred, and if they give not thee one, thou shalt be clear from my oath. And I came this day unto the well, and said, O Yahweh, God of my master, Abraham, if now thou do prosper my way which I go, behold, I stand by the well of water. And it shall come to pass that when the virgin, okay, the word virgin meaning a young woman. Now in this sense, going into a young woman being Ilama. All right, but you see, in both sense, she was also considered a maid, as we read in Bafala. So Bafala, you have Bafala and Ilama. Bafala meaning a woman that was untouched. Ilama means a young woman. All right, nevertheless, they will both be known as maids. Okay, so take a young woman. All right, because as people, that's like I said before, that's what people like to smear our names with, which we don't do. Let me add that. Nevertheless, it's written in the scriptures, and if it's written in the scriptures, which is of Yahweh Shai, then it's good. Behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that, and the reason why I said, for those who may lack understanding, the reason why I had to put that in it, that we don't do that, is because, according to the laws of Esau, all right, the rulers that the Lord has set up, it's not allowed. So we don't do it. Nevertheless, in the scriptures and in our sovereignty, the marriage of an older man to a younger woman, all right, which a girl is considered a woman when she's able to get married. And that's another thing we're going to go into. Nevertheless, not to, confuse brethren, it says, and she said to me, I'll start at verse 43. Behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that when a virgin cometh forth to draw water, and I say to her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water of thy pitcher to drink. And she said to me, Both drink thou and I will also draw for thy camels. Let the same be the woman whom Yahweh have appointed out for my master's son. All right. So not only are we reading it, all right, but you see clearly with your own eyes that the Lord appointed, all right, for his son to marry a younger woman, marry a virgin. All right. So now we're going to look into the word marriage. So that word marriage is an intimate personal union to which a man, all right, and mind you, going back into the word, it says of marriageable age, a young woman which is of marriageable age. Okay. All right. So reading on is an intimate. This is from the Compact Bible Dictionary. All right. So it says marriage is an intimate personal union to which a man and woman consent, consummated and continuously nourished by sexual intercourse, and perfected in a long life partnership of mutual love and commitment. You know, even as the churches, they bring up the precept, what the Most High have put together, let no man cast asunder. But what they don't understand is what consummates them being together, you know, is sex. All right. Going into when we jump down to Genesis 24:67, this is Isaac, Abraham's son, saying, and Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. So he took her, meaning what? He had sex with her, to take, to seize. All right? To snatch, to take away. All right? And another way you could prove that precept, which the churches go into, what the Most High put together, let no man take away, which goes into all right, which proves that precept is just Genesis 29 and 34. And Leah, and she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. All right. So she like, look, now he, I know that we. She basically said, now I know that we joined together, because what? They had sex, at least 3 times. And she said, because she had borne him 3 sons. Therefore, his name is called Levi, which in Hebrew is loyal, joined unto me. Okay? Going into, just further proving that sex is marriage. So it says, and perfected in a long life partnership, mutual love, and commitment. All right? So that's pretty much all I wanted to grab on that. Let me see it. Oh, well, it actually gets deeper, man. It gets better. It says, it is also a social institution regulated by the word of God and by the laws and customs which a society develops to safeguard its own continuity and welfare. The Creator made man and woman, displaying his full image only as both man and woman. All right, that's. I thought it was more than that. But now I want to get into the word. I want to jump over to the word virgin. All right, so when we go into the word virgin, it says a young unmarried woman. All right, then it gives us different precepts: Genesis 24:16, Exodus 22:16, 2 Samuel 13:2. It is also used figuratively to personify a city or state: Isaiah 23:12, Amos 5:2, a young woman of marriageable age, whether married or not, Genesis 24:43, Songs of Solomon 1:3, 6-8, Isaiah 7:14. Only the context can give it the force virgin. You know? And another thing I was thinking about as far as, the topic of a virgin, um, her being of marriageable age, is the word ripe. All right? And thinking about the word ripe, all right? And when we go into that word ripe, which really goes back into mature, right? It says ready for reaping, fit for eating, mature. From West Germanic, source of Old Saxon repi, Middle Dutch ripe, Old German, related to English repine to reap, meaning ready for some action or effect. you know? So she's ripe, you know? She's ripe and ready for some action, you know? And hey, you just notice as a young man, you start talking about sex and, you know, start talking about even women, you know. You start you start getting you start getting freaky with the girls, man, when you're younger, you know. As opposed to when you're like 9 and 10, you just think about having fun and doing this and that. But when you're like 12 and 13, especially the boys, you know, they're thinking about, getting fresh with the woman. And then the women start what? Growing breasts, you know, coming into their own. Okay? We gotta remember too, in the ancient world, our people were way more built up, in the spirit. They were way more built up as opposed to now where you're basically coddled to, like 18 and 21. That wasn't like that in the ancient world. All right? Everybody had their particular purpose. Okay? So we just broke down of how in the scriptures there were arranged marriages. Also, we broke down what happens when a man rapes a virgin or a young woman. Then we broke down the words virgin and what it actually means. So now we have perfect understanding, which Lord willing, through the Spirit, you brothers would be, be edified if you didn't understand it. Okay? So now, which I also thought about like the word ripe, going into plantains. For those, who eat Spanish food, you have something called plantains. All right? You have plátano maduro and plátano verde, which is one and the same. Just one means unripe and one means ripe. Plátano maduro means a mature plantain. All right? And it's normally it's sweeter. People more times gravitate to it. It's ready to be consumed. Okay? So that's scriptural, man. And there's many scriptures going into virgins. I didn't want to make this lesson too long, just going into that. All right. So now that we have understanding, as the scriptures say, Romans 8:1. There is therefore no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. And I brought this out to go into, if the Lord is perfect and we bring out his word, you should not take it, according to the Babylonian mindset, all right, but of a spiritual mindset. All right, there's another one I was thinking of. Oh, Yahweh Shai is a prime example. All right, where it speaks about how Yahweh Shai, he shall not judge. And this proves that, the elect would understand. And those that continue to scoff and be carnal, they're not going to understand. So this is Isaiah 11:1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the spirit of Yahweh shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahweh. All right, who will be Yahweh? Stem out of the root of Jesse, King David. All right, then he would pass it upon his son Solomon, who we know through the spirit is Yahweh Shai. So when Yahweh Shai comes on the scene, it says, he shall be of quick understanding in the fear of Yahweh. He shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. So Yahweh Shai, as he judged and, as he took on particular individuals, he didn't look at them after the flesh, but after the spirit. Case in point, even to his, I believe that, it was the Pharisees, that, what do you say? Harlot shall make it a kingdom before you. All right. So just proving that when we read these scriptures, it's important to understand first before you open up your mouth, because the scriptures say every idle word that man shall speak, he shall give account thereof. So that was pretty much it, man. These things are written in the scriptures. All right. And Lord willing, you I can edify. So with that, shalom to the elect.